Alright, in this video we are going to go over parental control. This is a neat feature within Windows 7 that if you have kids in the house and if you want to limit their time on a PC or determine what programs they can or cannot run, Windows 7 will do it for you. So let's go to Start, Control Panel, and scroll down if you have the large icon view to Parental Controls. Now the user that I will use for this example is Duke. So let's click on him. By default, this is set to off. So we'll choose on. And there's 3 items that we can modify. One being time limits. So we'll choose that. Duke can log in whenever he feels like it. Today is Thursday, so let's say he can only log in on the weekends. So what I'm doing here, I'm taking my mouse and dragging it. You'll notice it will change colors every time I actually do a click. But again, we want to block everything except the weekend. So I'm going to do a left click on Monday, drag it out. You can see blocked and allowed. We'll hit OK. So if this is correct, Duke will not be able to log in. So I'm going to switch user. Try to log in as Duke, and you see the message saying there's account restrictions, I'm not able to log in. So if you want to limit the time one of your kids or whoever spends on a PC, this is the way to do it. So we'll log in back as me. Go back to Control Panel, Parental Controls. Also, another bit of advice: if you have a computer administrator account, notice that the user I'm logging in as is the computer administrator. You want to password protect that with a good password. If you don't have a password, or if you have a weak password, Duke can go in here, log in as me, and either do whatever he wants or change the settings himself. A little piece of advice. So we'll go back to Duke. And we'll change this. So again, I highlight an area. So I've taken that time restrictions off. And if you wanted to, you can go to games. And you can determine if Duke can or cannot play games. You can also change the ratings of the game that he can play. So either kid games or mature or adult games. And if the game doesn't have a rating, you can just allow it or block it. Now you can block any game purely by the name. Now I don't have any games installed here, but if I did, you would see it show up and I can block it by name. And finally, we can allow or block certain programs. So the PC is scanning all the programs I have or the programs that can be used by a user. And it gives you a list. So let's say I only wanted Duke to be able to run Media Player and WordPad. Now before I hit OK, I want to mention with this list, I only checked 2 items, the Media Player and WordPad. Everything else on this list will be blocked. Internet Explorer, Notepad. If it doesn't appear on this list, the rules don't apply. So again, just to recap, the items that are checked, the user can run. Anything on this list that's not checked, they will not be able to run. So we hit OK. Again, we'll switch user. One is Duke. As you can see, he is able to log in. Now, this program is used by the printer and it was on the list, and as you can see, it was blocked. How about PDF Creator? Another program that was blocked. Now, if you notice, we can't open up Internet Explorer. Remember, if it's not on that list, it won't block it. Can we open up Calculator? We sure can. It's good if you want to block certain programs from a user so they can't run it. Let's say if you had some tax software, or I can't think of any program on top of my head, but again, you have the ability to block programs for a user. Let's log off and log back on as myself. If we went back to control panel and parental controls once again, and you wanted to remove this, you can just hit off, and now we have lifted any restrictions on that user account. So again, most people don't use this. They're probably not aware it exists on their system. But if you're in a scenario where you want to block access to a PC or block access to a program, you can definitely do it with Windows 7. Well, thank you for watching, and let's move on.